coming to you live from the creator created by Raditz' Space Pod. You're listening to the Dragon Balls Deep podcast with Drew, Devin, and Adam.
It's the Dragon Balls Deep podcast. Back with episode 5, right?
Episode 5.
That's correct.
All right. Before we get into the episode, I wanted to ask a question. I was going to incorporate this into the episode, but I couldn't find a good spot. Over the years, I've had this conversation with a lot of people about who the real life equivalents of Dragon Ball characters would be. But no one has ever really been able to come up with someone for Raditz.
Ooh, interesting.
And I was curious if either one of you
I'd say Sylvester Stallone.
Well, that
for
depends.
Raditz.
Yeah, like that depends. Like, what do you like? What characteristics are you basing this off of?
Whatever you want. Most people usually compare them to like fighters, but it could be
fighters.
anybody. Like I've heard Bruce Lee compared to Goku, but you know.
As I say, I could see Raditz as like maybe like as an MMA fighter. I could see him as like a young Arlovsky because of the hair.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that too, yeah.
Yeah, like as a young Arlovsky, but as like maybe like a movie actor, I could see him as like a Don the Dragon Wilson.
fair.
See, as I say, nobody knows it, and then it goes silent because nobody's like, who the fuck is Don the Dragon Wilson? Look that shit up, okay? B-rate martial arts movies, look them up.
I feel like he definitely has to be a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
He's just too jacked.
What about Evan Tanner? That works on all fronts, doesn't it?
Ouch. Rest
Maybe
in
like
peace.
a hydrated Evan Tanner.
Hydrated Evan Tanner.
But
Well,
Raditz is dead.
I was gonna say who would be a dehydrated Evan Tanner?
Connor.
What?
No, dude.
When he's cutting the 145.
I was gonna say if anybody's Connor, that's definitely Hercule.
I think when Connor is cutting weight, he's one of those, what are they called? The White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
Okay. Now we're getting. Hey, this is the Dragon Ball Z podcast, not a Game of Thrones podcast, bro.
That's true. I don't even watch that show. Let's get into this.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay. Dragon Ball Z, Episode 5, Gohan's Rage. I've been using the names from the remastered episodes. If anyone cares.
So they changed the names from between the remastered and the originals?
They did.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why there's so many names for each episode.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, if you look up, there's like, and that's the thing too. Like in translations, they're different. Like even in the Spanish translation, it's like something completely different.
Yep.
Shout out to those Mexican stations that played Dragon Ball Z back in the day.
They had it way back in the day too.
Yeah, dude. Like one of the first episodes of Dragon Ball Z, actually one of the first episodes of like anime I ever watched was in Mexico, and it was in Spanish, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Good times.
Episode 5, Gohan's Rage. Originally aired on May 24th, 1989, and October 11th, 1996 in the U.S. The show begins with a shocked Raditz and Piccolo as Gohan comes flying out of the space pod. Goku tells Gohan to run away, but Gohan is blinded by his anger and doesn't listen. Raditz claims Gohan's power level of 1,370 is impossible for a kid, and that it's still going up. Gohan yells at Raditz to leave his dad alone, and then he attacks and comes flying towards Raditz using all of his power, crashing headfirst into Raditz, breaking his armor and almost knocking him over. Goku is flabbergasted by this. Gohan seems to not remember what he just did or even what's going on around him. Raditz says that no one has ever done that to him. I doubt that. His scouter then reads that all of Gohan's power has disappeared, and he asks Gohan where it all went. Gohan says, "What power?" I guess he doesn't remember this either. This is clearly a sign of CTE.
He's definitely got CTE after he catches that bitch slap from Raditz.
Raditz then backhands the shit out of Gohan, knocking him unconscious. Yay, more brain damage.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, when Gohan does that, I'm gonna call it a spear for lack of a better word, because that's what it is pretty much to me.
Yeah, basically.
He basically just comes in and cracks dude's armor with his dome.
Yeah.
I mean, even people in the NFL would be like, "Bruh, that's not how you do it."
Is that something that Goku used to do early in the series too? Like a lot of like headbutts, head strikes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He did. Yeah, when he was little.
It was definitely familiar. Like when he because I know Gohan doesn't really learn how to strike with anything but his head for quite a while. But I think Goku was the same way.
And if you think about it, I mean, if you're a short dude and you know your head is pretty much at like, you know, stomach, waist, groin level, all you gotta do is headbutt somebody and it's game over.
Yeah. Goku begs Raditz not to hurt Gohan. Raditz says that Gohan has a power level even higher than Goku, and that if he ever learned to control it, it could be very bad for them. Them being himself and the other Saiyans, I would imagine. Raditz says that Gohan must die because of this. Quick note, Goku has been lying on the ground doing nothing this entire time. And in fact, he's been lying on the ground doing nothing since the last episode.
I do want to test my memory here real quick. He's got the spinny eyes. Are those the same spinny eyes? I feel like when Pokemon get knocked out in the anime.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The spinny eyes, it's like a staple in most anime. Like,
yeah, it's common in a lot of animes.
Yeah,
but does it ever happen again in the series in here? Like, I feel like it's not
I don't think anybody gets knocked out like that. I think people just die.
I was gonna say, I feel it happens like I feel the dizzy eyes happens at like comedic moments and not really like serious
That's
moments.
possible. Like in like the Saiyan-Man saga.
Yeah, or like when Bulma beats the shit out of somebody.
I could see
I feel
it
like Stars and Birds is probably more common than the dizzy eyes in this series, I'd say.
Gotcha.
Yes. Raditz prepares an attack to kill Gohan, but while he has his back turned, Goku grabs Raditz in a full Nelson and tells Piccolo to hurry up and use his attack. Piccolo just laughs maniacally and says that Goku sometimes amazes even him. He then tells Goku to hold on tight and reminds Goku not to listen to anything Raditz says. Thank you, Piccolo.
I was gonna say, this time he has to do a disclaimer like, all right, Goku, don't let this dude go. Because last time when this happened, he was just like, "Oh, I'll be good," and you were just, you know, quick to be gullible.
I wonder if Raditz tried it again if Goku would have let go.
I think Master Hickson would be pretty upset with Goku's technique right now. It doesn't even get the hooks in. It's pretty lazy.
No.
I mean, he'd probably be more upset with Raditz that he can't even break out of the damn thing, you know?
Yeah, man.
Raditz
gotta turn into it.
I was gonna say, he's not even rolling for a knee bar or nothing.
Nope. But Raditz does attempt to sweep Goku, but Goku managed to stay on his feet and keep the hold applied. We then learn, and this is the reason for this, we learned that Raditz was weakened from Gohan's attack, and that's why he is unable to escape Goku's hold. Raditz asks Goku how he expects to hold him and dodge Piccolo's attack at the same time. Goku, who has clearly not thought this through, just now realizes that Raditz is right and that he can't do both. You mentioned in maybe the previous episode how this is like a staple of Goku not thinking things through.
Yeah.
Here it is again.
Yeah. I want to point out something too, that while Piccolo is charging for his attack, you get like he gets very vascular. You see like all of his veins, and they like start to move and get all twitchy and everything, and it's kind of unsettling to me because it just looks like he's just this giant throbbing green penis.
You would think that.
I mean,
You're projecting.
Maybe I am projecting a little bit, but I mean, there's even a scene where you just see like these veins just protruding from the top of his head.
Isn't that a common thing though with characters in this show? Being super veiny.
Yeah, but like I just find the vein twitching a little unsettling.
Yeah, Piccolo's might be a little more prominent.
Yeah, that's because he's green.
You can definitely see a huge height difference, or not height, just the size difference between Goku and Raditz when he has him in that hold.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty big difference.
Yeah, Raditz is big.
Raditz is on that test.
He's on something. He's on those Saiyan vitamins.
Yes.
That Saiyan horse meat.
Yeah, as I say. Those saying D pills.
Raditz is saying his prayers and eating his vitamins.
I am a real Saiyan man.
Piccolo notes that while Goku sacrificing himself is very noble, it's also very convenient for him. No Goku around, no one to stop Piccolo. Raditz tries again to get Goku to let him go by reminding him that they'll both die if he doesn't. Goku just mocks him and says he seems scared. Piccolo then fires his special beam cannon one final time. And it's a direct hit, and it goes right through both Raditz and Goku. Looks very painful. I noticed there's lots of blood, but you would think since it's a energy attack that it would cauterize the wound.
That's anime rules. If somebody's dying or if
chalk it up to anime.
Yeah, chalk it up to anime.
Maybe we can get a doctor to reply to us.
Before this battle is officially over, I don't know if we ever brought up, is this the only battle where Goku kicks off his shoes?
Maybe in Dragon Ball Z.
No, he does it again in Dragon Ball Z because he fights. He fights at another tournament in the afterlife, world? Doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably I think he takes his.
And I feel he does it there where he takes like his shoes and his shirt off and he fights like that.
I want to say I don't think his clothes being weighted really affects his performance that much. I think he does it more to just flaunt how heavy his clothes are that he's wearing all the time. Just like intimidate his opponents. Like, oh man, he's wearing those heavy clothes all the time when he's training, man.
Well, we see when he is in Otherworld and King Kai has him training with like these huge weights on. They do mention how it does like increase his power and make him stronger. So
I know it. Yeah, I'm not saying that it doesn't increase his power, but I think when he takes it off, it doesn't affect really his performance much.
It's possibly not, because I mean he fights with clothes on all the time. Exactly.
That's why I'm saying it. I don't think it affects him
unless
really.
He just he just happened to be wearing weighted clothing this one time.
Yeah. I think he just takes it off for the dramatic effect.
I was gonna say he either like ditches the weighted clothing like altogether at some point, or like he's just that much of a badass that it doesn't affect him.
Yeah, he just fights with it on.
Yeah, like he's used to it. Like, Or maybe, hold on, now hear me out. Maybe the weighted clothing adds something like a bit of like momentum. You know, like when he's flying through dudes and punching. That's that weighted clothing is added weight to the momentum of his punches and everything.
Yeah, like when you get in a fight and you like stick like a D battery in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. Dev knows.
Where am I? Goku and Raditz are both down for the count. The fight is over, and your winner is, by way of special beam cannon, Piccolo, who now moves on to 1-1. Or would this be 2-1 since it's Goku and Raditz?
Nah, it's 1-1 because it
was him and Goku against Raditz, so
yeah.
So
Gohan.
Piccolo's. Oh, that was kind of an interference. So Piccolo is 1-1.
This up to an exhibition.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. This was unsanctioned. Piccolo overhears Raditz saying that Goku is a fool and that they are now both dead, to which Piccolo, for some stupid reason, begins to tell Raditz that he's going to die alone and that Goku won't be gone for long because Goku's friends are going to wish him back. Raditz says this is impossible and he demands to know how. Piccolo, again for some stupid reason, decides to tell him that on Earth they have something called the Dragon Balls, and when all 7 balls are gathered together, any wish can be granted, including bringing someone back to life.
In Piccolo's defense, he doesn't really know about the capabilities of the Scouter. But we'll get to. I'm sure you'll get to that in a minute. So I'm gonna keep quiet about that for a minute.
Piccolo says because of this, Goku will have the last laugh. Raditz says that Piccolo is wrong. He informs Piccolo that his Scouter is also a transmitter, and his 2 Saiyan comrades heard everything and will come to Earth to avenge him and destroy the entire planet. How convenient. And as you were saying, I guess Piccolo, he technically didn't know about the Scouter, but I still say it's pretty dumb. Like, why even bother telling this guy anything at all? Just
because
kill him.
I was gonna say, because imagine like if it's the whole series, the whole
so this
DBZ
is Piccolo's
series,
fault.
Yes, the whole DBZ series is Piccolo's fault. If he had to say anything at all, there would be no DBZ. This would basically just be another movie.
Damn it, Piccolo. But it keeps going. Goku overhears this and asks how long it will take for them to get here. 1 year, Raditz replies. And this whole conversation is so odd. It feels so unnatural. Almost like it's scripted. Like, why would any of them say any of these things to each other? It's ridiculous.
I do feel like Piccolo should have just, pulled the trigger and killed Raditz, like right after you hit him with the special beam cannon. Just like, all right, bro, finishing blow, and we're done.
Like, why did Piccolo tell Raditz about the Dragon Balls, and why did Raditz tell them when Vegeta and Nappa will be there? Like, it just felt really weird.
Well, I think... Go ahead.
I want to say Piccolo is usually smarter than this, and this is like one of those moments, I guess, where he should have just taken his own advice.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, it's, Piccolo he didn't know what was going to happen and everything. He didn't know about the Scouter and all that. And he could have just killed him and call it a day. But Piccolo, kind of being the evil guy that he is, I would think he has to rub it in a little bit. Like, you got fucked up.
I mean, I get that, but I don't know. This whole conversation was really weird to me.
Yeah, this might have been a learning experience for him.
Also, I was going to say, also with Raditz, I mean, it's like they're going to come. I think on Raditz's part, it was like they're going to be here in a year and there's nothing you can do about it. You're basically screwed. I think that's kind of why Raditz mentioned it. Like, you can prepare all you want. It's not going to stop him.
That's true. In his mind, like, it didn't matter if they knew or not. They were all dead anyway.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Raditz says the 2 Saiyans who are coming are much stronger than he is, and that they're all as good as dead. He then says he hopes he's back in time to see it happen. I guess he means Vegeta and Nappa are going to wish him back with the Dragon Balls. Newsflash, Raditz. Vegeta doesn't give a fuck about you.
No. And that's the thing. It comes up in the next scene when we finally meet. As I say, yeah.
Piccolo then kills Raditz for good. I think that's what they implied.
It's never showed like how he killed him. I was kind of pissed about that. Like he just raises his fist, screams, and then that's it.
Yeah, they just implied that he killed him. Cut to Chi-Chi doing stuff. But then Ox King arrives and saves the day, and he brought gifts for Gohan. Must be nice being his grandson.
Right?
Normally I'd want to skip the discussion on this scene altogether, but I do have a theory on Chi-Chi that I'd like to share.
By all means.
So, I have a theory that the reason why Goku hasn't kept in contact with all of his friends in the past 5 years and they had no idea he had a kid is because they really, really fucking hate Chi-Chi. And she is just such a miserable bitch that when they finally do decide to have a reunion, they're like, hey, can you just please leave your wife home? Like, say anything. Just get her to not come here and just ruin our good time.
That's possible, and I think it's I'll allude to that in the next episode because I have something to go along with that. I think you're on to something.
As I say, I'm going with that. I'm going with that. That's a logical explanation, and I'm going with it.
Okay, speaking of, meanwhile, Bulma, Krillin, and Roshi have magically arrived at the location where Goku and the others are. I like how Bulma says, they should be right down there somewhere. How do you know this? You don't know where they are. You just guessed and got lucky. The only reason you found them was because Toriyama wanted you to.
Well, didn't he also, I was going to say,
or she works for the CIA.
She's tapped our phones, bro.
We
she
have
knows.
the documents.
I was gonna say, well, she has the Dragon Ball tracker, right? And
no, Goku took it.
Oh, Goku took it?
Yeah, Goku took it so they could find Gohan and track Raditz. Bulma don't got shit.
Is it the only?
I feel like by now she should have like a Dragon Ball system in her vehicle.
Well, she didn't. She didn't have shit.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, I thought she had more than one Dragon Ball tracker, but apparently she's not that smart. Dummy.
I think she's a interdimensional vampire who's making deals with the Russians.
Trying to put
turning the freaking frogs gay.
I was gonna say, trying to put chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay.
That's what happened to what's his name?
Captain Ginyu.
Oh yeah.
Bulma turned him gay.
That's a later episode. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
We will.
I definitely want to have an in-depth conversation about the what's the word? The plight of Ginyu, of Captain Ginyu.
Of course. Raditz is dead as fuck, but Piccolo thanks him anyway, saying thanks for the warning, and they'll deal with his friends just like they dealt with him. Bulma, Krillin, and Roshi finally arrive to the scene, and they notice that only one of them is standing, but they don't know who. Seriously?
Like you can't spot the green head?
One of the guys, who is also your best friend, wears all orange. The other guy is a giant with 75% hair, and the other is a 7-foot green guy, and they can't tell who is who. Fuck out of here. Yeah. Mr. Narrator comes in out of nowhere to introduce us to Raditz's friends Vegeta and Nappa. We see a planet that looks recently destroyed, and it looks an awful lot like Namek to me. I know it's not, but it has the same scenery and look to it.
See, to me, it looks more like they just got done conquering the land of the Loraxes and extracting them for their truffle-trees.
That's, like I said, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it and chalk it up to anime.
Yes, I like that better.
And
the first thing, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, and you can tell it's a different planet, like, because it's got, like, way different, like, types of creepy life forms.
And the buildings. It's got, like, a big city.
Yeah.
The first thing we hear from these two Saiyans is Nappa saying, "Raditz stinks."
Like I said, I'm pretty sure that Raditz is the Meg of the group for these guys.
Good analogy. Vegeta calls Raditz a disgrace as he eats a giant bug.
I wonder, I mean, for Saiyans, what is their dietary habits like? You know, like, can they eat anything and be fine? Like, do they get salmonella or, intestinal diseases?
They probably have stronger stomachs than regular humans.
Yeah, you definitely have to account for and those times where you see Goku just eating an entire buffet by himself. So yeah, okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah. Nappa says that they should pay Earth a visit, and Vegeta says that he's curious about the Dragon Balls. I want to point out here the early design of Vegeta with his brown hair and his orange armor.
Yeah, good old ginger Vegeta.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys. I was hoping one of you knew about the whole deal with the red hair with Vegeta.
I think the reason they changed it was so that they could have Vegeta look more like Goku and Raditz and have all the Saiyans look the same. But I'm not really sure why. I don't remember why they had Vegeta drawn like that in the first place. I'm sure you could look it up. Look it up and let us know.
Give me homework.
I was going to say, it doesn't stay that reddish burgundy color for long, does it?
No, only for like a few more episodes.
It doesn't. I was gonna say it doesn't change when Vegeta loses his tail, does it?
No, he has like black hair when he gets to Earth.
Okay.
Krillin tries to save Goku from dying by yelling at him.
And before we get to this part, just one more thing to note in that last scene. I'm not positive, but I think this might be the first mention of Super Saiyans. I'm not sure if
we I think that the part you're actually referring to is coming up soon. I think I bring that up.
Well, actually, I was going to say I don't think they say it in the American version, but in the dub, Nappa brings up Super Saiyans.
Nappa doesn't bring it up. Vegeta brings it up in a scene later.
No, he brings it up in this scene in the dub.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
Nappa does.
Nappa does. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, Nappa doesn't say shit in this scene.
Yeah, he brings it up when they're talking about Gohan dealing that big strike to Raditz, and he questions maybe he's possibly a Super Saiyan.
I was gonna say
along those lines.
None of that is said.
Yeah, I was gonna say none of that said in the dub.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's a Funimationism. Instead, we get to hear about how Raditz stinks.
That's all we get to hear about. Raditz stinks. And that's it.
Krillin tries to save Goku from dying by yelling at him. Maybe Krillin should try praying, see if that works. Does Krillin pray to Kami? I know he's a practicing monk, or used to be, and surely they have their own god, and I wonder if finding out about Kami threw a wrench into Krillin's beliefs.
I think Krillin is definitely like a Buddhist. Maybe he believes in the Buddha, or something along those lines.
And who do you think the people of Earth pray to? They don't know about Kami or the Kais, so I'm guessing they probably just have their own religions there on that Earth.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you have your gods,
or maybe
your
they
Allahs.
Pray to Satan.
There you go,
Mr. Satan.
maybe Earth decided just to become a bunch of Satanists.
I'm referring to Hercule Satan.
I mean, it's still Satan nonetheless, isn't it?
Oh, I guess that would still be Satanists.
I was gonna say, they're still Satanists.
I bet Scientology exists in the Dragon Ball universe.
They pray to Tom Cruise.
Bulma says that Gohan is still unconscious, but is okay. Goku says, "That's good, because Chi-Chi would kill me if he got hurt." Haha. See, this goes back to episode 2, I think, when I said that Goku wasn't rescuing Gohan for his own concern. It was out of fear of Chi-Chi. Confirmed.
What? I was getting now, aside from like withholding the vagina and all that, what could Chi-Chi possibly do to Goku? And I know, I mean, and that's another thing too. I mean, Goku is somewhat of a stand-up guy. Like, he doesn't really like hit women or anything like that. So I could see like it just being a one-sided ass whooping of Chi-Chi, just, you know, throwing hands on Goku, and Goku just...
She wouldn't cook for him. He'd starve to death.
I could see that. I could buy that one.
Because Goku doesn't know how to cook.
Goku doesn't know how to do a lot of things. For being an all-powerful Saiyan, he doesn't know many like basic home ec.
Goku
Did not take home ec.
No, he didn't. Goku didn't go to school.
As I say, motherfucker didn't learn how to cook tiramisu.
Well, he's not Russian, so...
Yeah, I mean, Goku might be a superhero, but I guess there's not really a politically correct way of saying that. I think he might be mentally challenged.
He at least has Asperger's.
At the very least.
Oh.
Goku tells Krillin to take care of Gohan for him. Krillin still thinks Goku is going to make it, despite Goku having a large hole in his abdomen. Krillin says he's going to wish Goku back. And then Goku takes his final breath as Krillin cries out, "Goku!" This happens every time someone dies.
Oh, it's a must. Every time. I mean, it's in movies, it's in cartoons, it's in anything. Anytime somebody dies, you have to scream their name really loud to the heavens or hells, whichever.
It's in everything but real life.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not like Boys in the Hood.
I'm sure there's people that have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Back on whatever planet this is, Vegeta and Nappa prepare to enter their space pods and head to Earth. Nappa suggests they wish Raditz back to life, which Vegeta quickly responds no. He says that would be a wasted wish, and Raditz doesn't deserve to be brought back. Instead, Vegeta suggests they wish for immortality. If you can't die, you can't lose a fight. I don't know if it works like that.
I mean, I guess
I'm pretty sure garlic loses fights.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, you can't really kill as so much as like contain it. Like, okay, I can't kill you, but I'm pretty sure I can seal you up inside of something. Looking at you, Dead Zone.
Yeah, throughout the series, there's been like different forms of immortality that people have taken. Like, you got Piccolo, who has eternal youth, which I guess is sort of similar. And then you have Roshi, who is kind of immortal.
Can't die of old age.
I mean, he can die, but yeah, not of old age, not of natural causes.
Isn't Korn immortal?
Yeah, Korn's immortal.
No, he just has 9 lives.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right. That's right.
It's pretty much immortality.
I don't know if it's in... Well, yeah, we won't get to that. I was going to mention Emperor Pilaf, but that happens in another time.
Is that in a movie?
Time, another place.
I don't know when that happens.
Emperor Pilaf, is it after the
They're not
Cell
immortal,
games?
but they just they become kids again.
Oh yeah. Nah, I know what you're talking about. So yeah, if you thought the translation was bad for the last scene with Nappa and Vegeta, this one's a doozy. So in the Japanese version, let's see, they say, I think Nappa mentions, goes back to Gohan being an extraordinarily powerful for a Saiyan child, because he's a half human, half Saiyan hybrid. And then he proposes the idea of mixing blood with humans, possibly creates Super Saiyans. And then his idea is to breed an army so that Saiyans can rule the world once again. But Vegeta shuts down that idea pretty quick and says it's a dumb idea and they would become too powerful and it would endanger their own positions in the race. So they think they would pretty much be overpowered by hybrids if they let that happen. And his idea is instead they will exterminate the whole planet in 3 days.
So Nappa just wants to go to Earth and go on a rape spree.
I was gonna say Nappa just wants to slide into Earth's DMs and get in there. But that brings up an interesting thing because I always thought that the whole human Saiyan thing didn't really come up until like the Cell Game saga.
What do you mean?
Like when they talked about like how Gohan is powerful because he has mixed blood of humans and Saiyan. I
don't think that's ever mentioned in the dub.
As I say, I only think it's mentioned. Like I said, that's why I only think it's mentioned during the Cell games was when Gohan is like fighting Cell and all that, and I think that's when it's mentioned. Like because they say something about the reason Gohan can hold his own is because he has mixed blood.
Yeah, Nappa figured this shit out way back in the day.
I don't remember them ever saying that in the dub. We'll find out, but
like I said, I remember it.
I know
it's mentioned.
I know it's brought. Like half Saiyans are brought up, but I don't remember them ever bringing it up as a reason to why they're so powerful.
Yeah, and then Nappa's theory on that's how Super Saiyans are created.
Well, Nappa's dumb.
He's just throwing up. He's just brainstorming, throwing ideas in the wall, seeing what sticks.
What's that called? Oh my God! When everybody gets together and has a brainstorm, what do they call it?
A brainstorm.
Powwow.
Not a powwow. It's like there's like a word for it. It's like a brain meeting. I forgot. It's something. It's something crazy. It's like some millennial term.
I sure as shit wouldn't know then. Where were we? Oh wait. Also, I still say there's some inconsistencies in the space pod animation. Nappa barely fits into his. And also, why don't they just make the space pods bigger so that they can comfortably fit in them? Why do they have to be so small? Is this a design flaw? Budget cuts?
I was gonna say it's the hybrid model.
Perhaps Vegeta's little man ego doesn't want anyone having a bigger pod than him.
That's I could
or actually,
buy that.
They work for Frieza, so this is Frieza's doing. I guess Frieza wants them to be uncomfortable.
He saw how big Nappa and Raditz got. He's like, all right, gotta curb this shit.
Even the Ginyu Force fly in these little pods, so maybe it's something like when they're uncomfortable, it helps with their fighting.
Yeah, he wanted them in economic class. He didn't want them riding first class like he does.
Yeah. Vegeta says that as immortals, they will be the most powerful beings in the universe, and that they will ascend to their rightful place among Saiyan warriors of legend, Super Saiyans.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So this is when they bring up Saiyans in this episode. Vegeta brings it up here.
Yep, so not a big difference then. Just brought up a little earlier in the episode in the Japanese version.
No rape fantasies either.
Yeah, and no the whole half Saiyan, half human thing.
No mind
No
conf.
race mixing. Vegeta and Nappa then begin their year-long journey to Earth. Back on Earth, everyone is still crying over Goku dying, despite them knowing that they have the Dragon Balls. Goku's body then disappears, and everyone is trying to figure out why. Piccolo informs them that it's the work of Kami, the guardian of the Earth. He says Kami has some special purpose in mind for Goku. And we then get a send-off from Mr. Narrator as we get a goofy-ass picture of Goku in the clouds.
All smiling.
And one last shot of Vegeta and Nappa on their way to Earth. And
I was going to say, that brings up something interesting with the whole, where you say Piccolo mentions Kami, because, like you said, the humans didn't know about Kami, and now Piccolo just brings him up, and I'm surprised that not everybody's like, who the fuck is Kami?
No, because like Krillin and them, they know who Kami is.
They meet Kami in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kami's at the martial arts tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And doesn't Krillin go and train with him anyway? Or no, that's coming up in this saga. Yeah, that's coming up in a few episodes.
Yeah, that's later.
Because, Krillin and Yamcha and everybody go train with him.
Yeah, and this is like one of the few times that Kami's flexing them powers.
Mm-hmm.
So, wait, when does Goku... This is where Goku goes to train with King Kai, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming up. That's
does Kami ever do any other cool shit besides teleporting people?
In the Garlic Jr. saga, after the Frieza saga, he has to go into some other dimension.
Oh, I remember that.
And release what is it, like the Black Mist or something? Get rid of the Black Mist or whatever it is.
I wouldn't say it's a power though. That's just kind of a mission he goes on.
It's something that only he can do.
True, but you never see like all Dende does is fucking heal people.
Kami, I don't know. He merges with Piccolo.
Fusion.
Yeah,
that's about all he does.
Lame. I feel like Guardian of Earth, I feel like he should have more responsibility. He doesn't really do a whole lot. He hangs out on the lookout with Mr.
When there
Popo.
are things to do, he does what he can.
He's like Roshi. He trained Goku up to a certain point, and then Goku kind of just took over.
I was just going to say, he basically trained Goku to do his light work.
Yeah. Well, before Goku came to Earth never really had problems. It was, as Goku mentions, it's him that brings all the evil to Earth.
This is true.
True.
So Kami had it pretty easy for the whatever hundreds of years he's been sitting up on the lookout.
That's probably why he made Goku. That's probably why he took Goku in this episode, because he was like, all right, motherfucker, look, you're causing all these problems. So I'm going to help you deal with your own problems. So that way I can just chill up here in the tower and not have to worry about you numbnuts.
That, and he knows if he doesn't, then, well, he mentions it, that Goku's the only hope they have. Otherwise, they're all fucked.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to pull some strings because I don't want to die.
Basically, if you die, if you die, the Earth dies, and if the Earth dies, then, well, I have nobody left. Well, thank you, Kami.
Then he dies.
Yeah, thank you, Kami, for giving us that.
Which happens.
He does die?
Yeah, because Piccolo dies.
Oh, yeah.
Piccolo dies, Kami dies. Where does Kami go when he dies? Does they ever show that?
Does
he go hang out with the Kais or something?
Doesn't he combine with Piccolo?
No.
This is if Piccolo dies.
No,
if Piccolo dies, Kami dies.
Yeah, they're still separate even when they're dead, because Piccolo goes off to train with King Kai.
I thought Kami ended up merging back with Piccolo.
Yeah, and that's in the Cell Saga.
Wait, when does Piccolo merges with Nail in the Namek Saga, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're asking, when does he die? Or where does he go when he dies when?
Like when Piccolo and Kami die. Like Piccolo goes off to train with King Kai, but where does Kami go?
Hangs out with King Yama, probably.
With King Yama?
Yeah, there you go, King Yama. King Yama's like, all right, asshole. What'd you do this time?
We'll see in the next episode. King Yama is not a fan of Kami.
King Yama is he loves Goku though. He's like, I like you, Goku. You a stand-up guy.
Yeah. That's episode 5. Anything else?
Plugs, That's it.
All right. Give us a follow over at Twitter at DBDpod. Let us know all the things we got wrong and how dumb we are. Come say hello on the forums at timewasted.tv/forums. And as always,
tune in next time for another episode of Dragon Balls Deep.